I spent all day gathering bales yesterday, so I got a pretty big dent out of the field now. And I decided, well, I've got everything hooked up, I'd try to grab another load this morning. This is one of those jobs where you just gotta do a little here, do a little there as you have time, and one day you look up and you're done. However, that will not be today. After we get this load loaded and move back to the ranch, we got to run down to the steer pasture, check on them, move them, and then I'm not sure what else is going to happen today. We might just come right back out here and haul some more bales. Well, anyway, you look at it, it's going to be a busy day. That's what's going on today on Farmertylerranch. I thought that one was going off the back for sure. That's why we tie loads down, because you certainly wouldn't want that happening while we're going down the road. You know it's getting tight when you're only doing single clicks. I knew I'd miss that one. There, that ought to do it. Here you go. You might notice I've updated my loading protocol a little bit, and I found a place to stuff 2 more bales. One more on the trailer and then one in the back of the truck. The trailer is now at weight capacity, like to the pound. I don't know, I guess I'm getting greedy by putting that bale up there. We'll see if I pay the price. A lot of people asked in the last video, and you know, I knew people were gonna ask about this, so I probably should have addressed it. Why am I not moving these loads with the flatbed Dodge after all? Isn't that why I got it? And yeah, that is why I got it. And I guess I just don't really have a good excuse. I mean, have you ever had a project where you just felt like you had all kinds of time to get it done, and then you wake up one morning and you realize you don't? And in my defense, getting the Dodge ready actually is going to be a little bit of a bigger job than I had thought. And the main reason is just that the receiver hitch on that truck is a lot higher than I think it ought to be. I mean, I probably should just try to hook the trailer up and see how it all looks, but I think the trailer is gonna be real nose high and tail low. And you know, you want it pretty much as close to flat as you can, especially when you're hauling a load like round bales. Well, we made it back with the exact same number of bales that we left with. Yesterday, I figured I got about 102 bales moved, plus the 70 that I already had in here makes 172. Plus, we've got 17 here, which makes 189. So that means I've got like 80 some odd bales to go. Barn's getting full. I figure I can get 30 more bales here in the main part of the barn, and then I think the side holds like 60 if I'm remembering right. So 90 more bales, we'll be full. We're getting there. Just pulled into the steer pasture, and I think before we move the cows, we'll go ahead and check the sprinkler line. I always do that when I get here. I find the sprinkler line that's running and make sure that nothing's plugged or broke or anything like that. So I can already see one is plugged. But we'll walk down and check the rest of them as well. Getting a little bit wet there. Seems like there's always problems at the end of the line, and I think that's just because all the garbage that gets in the main line kind of settles down here at the end and plugs them up. So we'll hopefully we can just stick a wire in here and get it going. Judging by the dead grass down here, this has been a problem for a while. Much better. All right, I think all is well with the sprinklers. Let's go get the cows. It's been about a week now since I fly sprayed the yearlings over here. We treated 4 of them, I think, for pink eye, and brought the Bismarck bull. I haven't seen them since then, and I was kind of curious to look at the fly pressure, look at their eyes, and just make sure that, oh, hello there. Actually, this is one that we doctored right here. Can you see your eye? Yeah, it's getting better. I don't know how well the camera is going to show it. It still looks a little nasty, but it actually is getting better. So I would say in another week, maybe 2, that you won't even hardly be able to tell he had a problem. 2321, there you are. Let's see how he's looking. You actually look worse. Now 2321 here doesn't actually look that much better. I'm disappointed to see that. And then last was this white face heifer licking the salt block here. Let's see if we can get a look at her. Still runny. Hello. Well, she looks about the same, I would say. Not really much better, but really no worse. Boy, you are friendly, aren't you? And honestly, I'm not really too happy with the flies on these guys. I thought after spraying them all down, they would be a lot better for at least a week, but honestly, there's not that big of a difference. Maybe a little bit less, but the face flies are still bad, and they've still got them like on their bellies and their legs, the places that would have been harder for me to spray. So we're gonna have to think of something else out here. Well, I better make sure they still have a salt block in here the way they were going after that one. They still got some in here. It looks like a sprinkler's been hitting it though. I might need to move it. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I thought we were gonna get over here and see a total reduction of flies. All the pink eye would be healing up and almost gone, and that's really not what happened. So what I think I need to do in this pasture is figure out some way to put up a back rubber for these guys, because the back rubber that I put in the bullpen, I was really happy with the results from that. Those bulls barely had any flies on them. I mean, that same day, it worked that fast. The problem out here is there is really no gateway that they're gonna be walking through on a regular basis. And what I might have to end up doing is putting like a little, maybe even just like a hot wire enclosure around the water troughs with an opening that has the back rubber, so that when they want to come up and get a drink, they have no choice but to walk under there and rub their backs on it. I can't really think of any other good place to put it. The problem with that, however, is that the sprinklers are going to hit it, and I feel like that they will just kind of wash all that spray out of the back rubber. So I don't know if that is really going to work or not. It's another option is I could do, I mean, the same principle, make a little enclosure with hot wire and then put like a protein tub or something in it, and then I could place that wherever. I could put it down there at the end where I've got the ring feeder, where it's pretty flat and the sprinklers don't reach. So I don't know, I got to do something though. And as I walk back to the work truck, I'm looking at this. You know, this would be a perfect spot to put a back rubber, except like I said before, we've got the sprinkler issue, but maybe I could put some sort of a block on the sprinkler so that when it's going, it just doesn't spray over here. And then I could put like salt blocks or whatever down here in the corner. That would at least give them good treatment while they're in this middle pasture. They're on a 3-week rotation here, 1 week in each pasture. 2 out of the 3 weeks, they'd have access to fly control, and then 1 week they would not. You would think that they'd have enough residual on them that they wouldn't really need it when they're down there. Hey, it'd be better than what we got now. It's a couple of days later now, and I thought I would try to show you what my concern with this Dodge is. I know I've tried to explain it a couple of times, but as they say, picture's worth 1,000 words. And it's the height of this receiver hitch. The bottom of the hitch comes up to about the middle of my thigh, which I feel like is quite a bit taller than what the hitch is on my Ford. And what I'm concerned about here is that if I got a big enough drop hitch to accommodate that trailer, that it would just be too long, or I'm not even sure if they make one that drops down low enough to make all of this stuff ride right. If they do make a drop hitch that's rated for 10,000+ pounds, then this isn't an issue, but I'm just not sure that they do. On the Ford, the bottom of the receiver hitch is like at the bottom of my knee, and I'm already using a 6-inch drop hitch on this truck. So I think I would need like a 12-inch drop or something for the Dodge to make this trailer work properly, or I'd have to like rebuild the tongue on the trailer. Basically, my choices are to make a new hitch on the Dodge, which could be challenging because that is a dump bed, so you gotta kind of make sure that whatever you put on there is not in the way of that functioning. I need to rebuild the tongue on this trailer so that the attachment point is up higher and could accommodate the existing hitch on the Dodge, or I need to find a drop hitch that goes low enough to work with this trailer that is also strong enough to handle that kind of a load. The longer your drop hitch is, the more leverage your load can put on it, and the weaker it becomes essentially. And I've seen people use like rods with heim joints going down to the drop hitch if they have a big lifted truck or something like that. And we might be able to do some sort of concept like that on the Dodge to make this work. I'm just not really sure, and this is why we're not using the truck yet, because I need to figure out the best way to approach this. Come on, Dad. We'll make room for me. cattle aren't moving today, but they are moving tomorrow. And sometimes when I'm putting my best foot forward, I'll come out here the day before and get all these wires and everything ready to go, so that tomorrow when I do want to move them, all I've got to do is open the gate. Well, would you look at that? I must have been really ambitious when I was out here irrigating, because I already got that one hung up in the right spot. Huh. Well, I don't believe it. And now that I've walked all the way down here, I can see that I got the last one hung up as well. I think when I was down here irrigating, as I finished with these checks, I probably thought to myself, well, if I hang these wires up now, then when it's time to move the cows, I won't have to walk all the way down here to hang them up. That plan didn't work too well. Well, the sun's getting low, but I did still want to walk out here and look at cows and kind of get you guys up to speed on everything that's going on out here. It seems like we've been talking about bulls a lot lately because they just got turned out the other day, but there are still some other things that are going on as well. Looks like number 57 is the lady of the hour. First cow I want to talk about is number 16 here. She is one of the 2 cows that have still not had calves, and I honestly don't have a lot of hope for her. The only thing that she's got going for her is that I don't ever see anybody riding her like she's in heat. So that could mean that she got bred really late, like too late, or it could mean that she's just not cycling or something's wrong. I'm not sure, but her bag is not showing any signs of filling up. She does look enormous, but you know, that could mean one of 2 things. It could mean that she's big because she's pregnant, or it could mean she's big because all of her calories are just going to gaining weight. They're not going to growing a calf. So needless to say, even if number 16 is bred, she's going to be so late, she's going to be too far off schedule to really be productive. You know, it's not good when they get so late like that, because now her calf is going to be so much different than all the other ones. It would have to be sold as a single, and it's just not good. So odds are on the next trip to Galt, she will be on it. And the last cow that I'm waiting on is number 62 here. This would be her second calf, but I have a lot more hope for her. I actually think she's going to drop a calf any day now, because she's big, she's bagging up. It looks like it's coming soon, but it just hasn't happened yet. Quick side note, this little heifer here looking at me, number 16, I'm almost certain that she's going to be part of our breeding herd when she's older. I really like her mom. I really like her. I'm about 99% sure she's going to end up in the breeding herd. So if number 62 has her calf like in the next week, let's say, then yes, it will still be quite a bit younger than the majority of these calves here, but I think it is still close enough that it would be all right. It would always be one of the smaller ones, of course, but she's still close enough to that window that I want to hit, that I think, you know, next year we could probably pull her back and get her on time with the rest of the cows. So still 2 more to go out here. One I've got hope for, one, well, not so much. We'll kind of probably wait till the end of the month and see what's happening, and then start making some decisions, because if she's not going to have a calf, there's really no sense in keeping her here all summer, because she's just taking grass away from the cows that did their job. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.